Like, I don't know who said that. Was that you, Oksana?
Huh?
Did you just say thank you?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't looking. I was like, wait. You guys have good, what is it called? Whenever you like in an amphitheater, it's like good, yes, there we go. Acoustics. Thank you for knowing what it was.
Yes.
Gosh, the view is beautiful too. This is such a good office. Yeah. Especially if it's ever like a storm rolling in, it's probably amazing.
It actually is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've been like teaching class before, it's like distracting.
Right.
Watching
Oh, yeah. Well, then you get to stay dry. You get to watch it, but stay dry. That's rare.
Yep.
I see why you got an office here, Oksana.
See,
Makes sense. Yep.
mine's cute, small, but I have a video.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
You have made the maximum use of that space.
Did you look at it? It's still
Yes.
not cute though, so I will show you.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. What is it? Are you in the
It
middle
was
of
a
decorating?
piece last week.
Yeah.
Finally, I have it like it looks like semi a girl. It's actually it's an
Yeah, yeah.
girl's office.
I like it.
All right,
Awesome.
well, I was impressed. I'm not that.
Yeah.
Get the lead out. Hey.
Put some pink in there. You're all right. Put one of your signs in there. You're good.
Oh my God, perfect. Let me tell you how blessed I feel that you all done those signs for me.
Yes, right.
Oh,
They are
my.
they're little mini billboards for sure.
They're a lot of work.
Yep, absolutely. Oksana, guys, was one of the first people that utilized the pink post signs. She does use black, she doesn't use pink, but. Oh, yeah, for sure. We have the black and white too. I know, yep.
I
Pink's
just
the fun
ordered
one,
the
but-
signs and I was like, I'm not dealing with the post.
Yeah.
People, if you know, once you schedule a pickup, it'll get something, because I scheduled it, but I don't get anything.
Oh,
So I'm
yeah.
like, I wonder if what's
So-
going on.
And I'll check on that too, because he's been updating it. We actually have another developer meeting this it's Thursday. And there's already now an email whenever your sign is completed, as well as we send a picture. I want to do something like that for the sign pickup too. So I've been texting though. Did I not text you whenever I was running around that day? I tried to text you. Let you know it's picked up. Right, exactly.
Just so
Right.
I know.
It's- Yeah, and you're not like, is that thing gone? Yeah, that's okay. Because when we're in the view orders, so it basically shows like, received, and then I have to schedule it and then hit confirm. The confirm should send out an email like, I'll do that.
I think we're ready to
Oh, yeah?
start. We
Perfect.
may have a part
That's okay. No problems.
Uh,
Stragglers. I like
come in, but
Perfect.
yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for the invite. My name is Ryan Richardson. I'm the owner of Pink Post Installation. We do also do the black and white posts as well. Just, obviously black, white, and pink post business name doesn't go quite as well as pink post does. So that's the fun one, but we have had that question quite often as well too. So I actually started my real estate career in Arizona in 2012. So I've been an agent, was just kind of on my own learning, trying to figure out the whole process. And this was also, if you remember, like almost bottom of the market. I'd say 2011 was, we got hit really hard in Arizona as compared to here. I heard you guys, your values didn't go down too much. But essentially got to the point to where I was about a $5 million producer per year. Super proud of that just by myself. Obviously it was, again, the lower priced homes, so a lot of volume, but I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Like it was just from the moment you woke up until you went to bed, I'm running around trying to take care of everybody. And then I had those peaks and valleys where essentially you are super busy. You've got all, I had 11 in escrow. This is fantastic, but you're working so hard to close those. Once they're closed, now you got that slow motion where now you got to get more in escrow. So then for a month or two, you're working and rolling those. So it felt like it was a lot of highs, a lot of lows. But I'm seeing these guys that are doing 30, $40 million producers. They're going to team meetings. They're having fun. They're doing podcasts. They're going on vacation with their family, just all different kinds of things. I'm like, how is that possible? I feel like I'm at max capacity. So I ended up getting a mentor. He kind of helped me throughout the process. One of the biggest things that he had was to look at it as you as a real estate agent are a business owner. You own a business, which is your real estate. If you try to be the cashier, the wholesale guy, the delivery guy, the manager, you're trying to do all of those, you're going to hit a wall eventually. You're going to hit your ceiling. Now, it's great to do that in the very beginning, but after a few years of doing that, you're definitely going to burn yourself out and it's going to cap out your productivity. So, like, that's great. How do I hire individuals? How do I know who to hire? He's like, I want you to look at based on your closings and the amount of hours spent, how much typically you made per hour. If it's $100 an hour, or even if it's $50 an hour. Look at the services you can be providing. Why would you ever pay someone? Why would you ever do a service that you can pay someone $20 an hour to do if you're making $50 an hour or $100 an hour? I mean, that's great. That's a good way to look at it. So already had a professional photographer, hired the transaction coordinator, and then also had the sign company. So they went out there, were taking care of a lot of that. It got to the point where essentially that initial listing appointment that we were doing, we're getting to know the seller, then we're doing the walkthrough on the home just to kind of how to stage it, prep for photos. After that, if it sold before I was able to do an open house, I didn't even have to go back to the property. It was one of those, it was so streamlined to the point where it was taken care of. Now I got to the point where I was doing $10 million a year, so I doubled my productivity. Didn't even feel like I was trying. I mean, I was going to the kids' games. I was actually able to go on vacation with the kiddos. I was still walking around with the phone in my hand in Disneyland, unfortunately, because that's how it goes. But essentially it made it to where I was able to be much more productive. My net income was much higher because I was able to basically subsidize the little things. I was concerned though too that sellers would get concerned that they don't see me doing everything. It actually was the opposite. They felt like I was actually hiring the professionals to take care of the job. Now they see where their money is going. They were actually extremely excited, especially with the fact that their sign looks fantastic. The photography is incredible. And during the escrow process, they have a transaction coordinator that can answer any questions they have if I'm not running around in the field. So it was an eye-opening experience for me. Very excited about it. I ended up going into the medical field, so mobile IV therapy in 2019. So completely different field. I also hate needles, which was weird that I got involved into that. But did real estate to pay the bills for the next 3 years. Built that company. I lived in a basement in Colorado for a little while. We blew up. We have 1,100 nurses now, and we're in 19 states, which is fantastic. I absolutely love it. It was a dream. But we were also kind of hitting that ceiling because you had a real estate agent and a firefighter. That was my business partner that we're doing it together. We don't have the corporate knowledge. We were hitting our ceiling. Every time we increase our income, our expenses would go up almost about the same. So had a capital investor get involved. They took me out of the day-to-day process. I thought I had won the lottery. I thought I was super excited. I didn't have to do a lot of work. Can't live the totally lavish lifestyle, but it's like now you got all this time. After a couple of months, I started actually kind of get depressed because it was like, what is the point in waking up? You know, they talk about that. When you retire, essentially, it's like, what is the purpose? So ended up getting back into real estate, loved it in Arizona. I moved here because it's absolutely beautiful. Talked to a couple of real estate teams, and one of the questions during the process was who installs the yard signs? Like, oh yeah, the agents do. I was like, what? What do you mean the agents do? And it's like, yeah, we just have these little stick in the ground yard signs. I'm like, there's not a sign company here. It's like, no, it doesn't exist. And he's like, there used to be one. They wouldn't show up. They're super unreliable. If the wind blew over a sign, they would show up a week later. So essentially they faltered and nobody was using them. So I was like, holy cow. So literally the next day we started Pink Post installation. So went out and got the little cyber truck, which has been fun. Asked the girls actually, so my fiance and daughter, what color should we be wrapping the cyber truck in? And they're both like, pink. This is obviously before it was Pink Post. And I think they were joking, and I was like, let's do it, you know. So totally trying to call my bluff, and it's been so fun. And it is actually translated to the point where now people are talking about it. But whenever I show up to these sign installations, it is an absolute experience for the sellers because they're coming out, they want to see what this pink light bulb is that just showed up. I've got neighbors that are all of a sudden walking their dogs, trying to see what's going on. They're asking me questions about it. It's been awesome.
Your pink cards in here.
So, yep, Oksana's been using it. Actually met her. It's funny, whenever I was looking to buy a house a year ago, and that was before the whole Pink Post thing. I thought she was awesome. She was actually there to help us tour homes. So that was very fun. So obviously she was one of the first, helped me do sign measurements, all kinds of things. But essentially, what we've been looking on and trying to do is make sure we're saving you guys time. So right now, if you looked at statistics, the numbers, I'm very big on that. If you have one listing a week, really big for teams as well too, but just for easy numbers. So one listing a week, 30 minutes away, means you're going there, installing the sign, driving back. Then whenever it's sold, you're going there to pick up the sign, driving back. Means you spent 104 hours last year just installing signs. So one of the questions I like to ask is essentially, if I gave you 104 hours, do you feel like you would be able to close one more deal in that 104 hours? Have one more potential client? So that's a really big thing. So Essentially, if you have that one deal that you're able to close, you have now paid for the entire service for the year. We're trying to keep our pricing as cheap as possible for you guys so that we have the people that are doing, 30 closings a year versus the person that's also doing 6. We're installing the signs for them at an a la carte basis, so you're only charged whenever you're actually doing it. I'll pass around these flyers and kind of a walk and talk if it works out. I'm gonna give that to you, but I do also know too that everybody's got their systems and their processes as well. So even if it's something that'll save you time, it's always hard to change the process. So down at the bottom, we do have a promo code. It actually, I created this when we were covered in snow, so it's too cold. It doesn't really make any sense now, but it allows you to try out our services for the first time for free at no cost. So that way you're able to kind of experience what it's like, and then we store the signs in between the installations, so that way you guys it's completely hands-off. We do also take care of the lock boxes as well too. So that was one of the things that I've had, I had a couple of agents ask, they're like, well, I like to be there for the photography, I like to be there to meet the seller. Thank you, that sounds good. So essentially, what we look at is like, okay, but whenever you're sold, how do you go and pick up your sign? How do you go pick up your lockbox? Because then we're taking care of those for them. So even if you take that 104 hours divided by 2, it's still 52 hours that you're saving just by having us ride around and pick up and store your signs for you. Biggest part too is the storage aspect with like your garage, office space. You finally get that stuff back. I've also had a couple of agents tell me like back half of my car I finally get back, which is very cool. So that's one of those where essentially we're storing those for you. When you have an order, you go onto your website, you're able to see all your inventory that we're storing. You schedule your installation, and then whenever it's sold, you schedule us to come back and pick it up. So it's fully hands off. So the other thing that I've had too is a few agents have said, well, I really like to be hands on. Totally okay. I love that stuff. Outside, you're one of the best at doing that. Shows there and just prepping the house. I've seen you in the dirt, basically taking care of some people. So essentially what we ask people is on the other side of it is your photography, your photos, right? Every one of us has a cell phone. So why do you guys hire a professional photographer to take your photos? You're able to just take it yourself. What was that?
You suck at it.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's better, absolutely. I think the presentation piece is the biggest thing of it. So your photos look so much better online. That's what people are seeing those. We want to actually hint on that as well too. So we look at the presentation side of these signs. And is it the top button? Maybe one of these buttons? It's okay.
Probably, no.
Oh. Oh, that screen. Okay.
Wait, I wish we were that sophisticated.
Okay, I know that would have been.
I clicked something and it probably,
Okay, cool.
it should work now.
So the biggest thing that we're hitting on now is the presentation piece of these signs. So your signs actually are going to be some of the strongest leads that you will ever get is your sign calls. And I thought that was false initially. So I'm like, there's no way. And the reason for that is because they are a little less more frequent, I guess I would say. But whenever people do take that step to call the big bad realtor, because they've got all the details they need on their phone, they've got the price, the description, they've got the photos, everything they need on their phone. If they're going to take that step, it's because they really like what they see and they want to be able to get inside. It all starts off with how the sign actually looks and grabbing their attention as well too for them. I'll tell you, coming from Arizona, we don't ever see these waist high signs. I actually drive by them all the time, had no idea we're there. I had Nick Ratliff. He was actually another one of those individuals that I met in the very beginning. It's one of the ones I interviewed the team with. But he had me go pick up some signs at a farm that he had because he was going to add it to inventory. Told me he had them on his main road, the one in front. I was able to find that one. He said there were 2 other ones. He misquoted the road that I was basically driving into. I couldn't find them. I was trying to look for these signs everywhere. Realized I had driven past both of those signs and never even saw them. There's no way that he's getting sign calls. If I'm looking for the signs and not able to see it, that's a really big thing. So this one actually, Mary Jen, she had us upgrade her sign. This was out here. This one, she had initially not a single sign call. After a month and a half, she got 6 sign calls just from that upgrade for the post. You talked about too the fact that you ordered some of your signs already.
Yeah.
We are able to work with all the different signs. So essentially we convert them from these frame ones. I've got the measurements to be able to add them to the hanging version essentially. So that we're able to provide those to you. So there's no sign that we can't handle all the way up to 36-inch width. I'd say the most common 24. Few of y'all are at 30 as well too. So this is just basically a difference between those two things. And like I said too, people are, humans are simple creatures. We like bright, shiny, pretty things. So again, grabbing their attention to get it to where you guys are actually getting a sign call. That's my favorite before and after. Only difference is the signs. We had fun with that one. This one was interesting. Basically, I was driving past to install another sign. There is actually a for sale sign in that, which I think is just crazy. There's no way that anybody's seeing this. And you can kind of see the little logo there, but essentially these are the election signs. They're getting missed, guys. So it's one of those, if you're not getting sign calls, I'm telling you, there's buyers out there. It's potentially the presentation of your signs. And then we've got this, obviously, Oksana. I'm using you for my marketing as well. So we just added the solar lights as well too, because again, whenever that sun goes down, these things are charging all day. Now it's lighting up like a little Christmas tree in front of the seller's yard. The buyers are seeing it, but most importantly, the sellers are seeing that stuff. So the sellers, this is the one piece of marketing that they're going to see literally every day, usually multiple times per day. If they see that this is the type of presentation that you're doing, they automatically feel good about it. Make sure that they actually feel proud about it, which is really huge. So I absolutely love that. And that's May birthday, so that's your other thing. Yeah. So guys, do I have any questions at all that I can answer throughout the process? Well,
Impressive, right?
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
We're very excited about it. I've actually had quite a few agents that have been like, literally the sign is the worst part of my job. I'm so glad that you're here. So
Love it.
Yeah.
Before then, I was fighting that mallet the whole time. I might find it's heavy and it's big and the whole hole was big and I don't have to do that.
I will say it makes good social media videos for that, just.
But that was the only thing it was good for.
Right.
And then for me, I usually put the sign right after I got this house ready. I was already so tired and then I was always dreading putting the sign up and bringing the sign with me. So
And I've run into a few issues where our soil for a good, probably a foot, maybe foot and a half, it's great. All of a sudden, it's like this clay that they have made that is so difficult to get it all the way in there. So I've been out there with my sledgehammer. It's been a lot of R&D figuring out how to get these in there. Plus, and very specific instructions that Oksana gives every time she puts her order in is make sure it's straight and pretty. We
Yeah,
take
but
our,
it's getting straight every single time.
we take a lot of pride in that because I've seen actually a lot of signs, those waist high ones are blown over and they win. We've also had a couple of brokers out there like Christie's, I think this one big one, Sotheby's, I think they have a sign guy, right, that already takes care of their stuff. Every single one of them are falling over, they're crooked, they look terrible. So again, you're hiring a professional, you're having us take care of it, you wanna make sure that it looks good, so your sellers are really proud of it too, so. The lockbox stuff, mechanical, as well as Century Lock and Supra, actually, if you ever have any of those, we store those, install them. The way that it works is when we install it, if the seller key is not there, we just simply leave the sleeve open. Seller will put it in there, they close it up, and then when we go to pick it up, we make sure that the key's not still in there as well too. So, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So I will say, I know you've got kind of a time constraint. So the key to every realtor's heart, as I have felt, is free shirts. So we do have shirts out there. You guys are able to grab, they're really cool. A lot of them say like go paint, go sold. Nobody likes a sweaty realtor, which I love. We also have one that's for the girls. It's actually got our logo that says got paint across the butt. So just little things. We'd love it if you guys have those and then just tag us on Facebook whenever you wear those. Absolutely free. If it's okay, I'll just hang out.
Yeah.
And then after your meeting, they can always go by and snag those up. So any other questions or anything I can answer, guys?
Guys,
Great.
thank
All
you so
good.
much.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you guys. Keep safe, John. I think that was the thing, but it's fine. Thank you so much.
Shit. I'm strange. You have time. to
Yes,
say.
right.
It's like you.
No.
Strange, right? It's like you have time to say.
I like it. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much,
You
guys,
did a
for the
great
invite.
job.
Appreciate
Yeah,
y'all.
you did a
Definitely
great
enjoy lunch for sure.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Great marketing. When you guys go out to get your shirt at the end, go check out his car. Like,
Yep.
I saw
It was
it.
awesome.
yeah, awesome. Yeah.
I parked it illegally in front of the building.
That's
so-
okay. You're good. You're good.
The phone number that's on there is my direct cell phone. Any questions you have, feel free to text. And obviously, again, that promo code makes it so there's absolutely no cost or obligation for your first install, so. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Did a great job. Birthdays this week, we have Alex Latimer, Joe Lyons, and Allison Thurman. I'm gonna go quick on this. Oh, we want to welcome the Bart Daly.
great.
The Bart Daly. So if you guys have not met Bart, Bart has just joined our leadership team. His official title is the assistant team leader.
Yes.
Assistant team leader. So
Oh,
I feel like we need a whole hour of Q&A, but we don't have enough time. But
Yeah.
what are you excited about, Bar? And like, what can these guys look forward to with you being on the team?
so. I joined here because of the culture. I come from EXP and, you're out there by yourself. And I miss
the energy that an office environment can give you. Having the conversations with folks, you're having just a rotten day, nothing's working, you know, just to go and bounce ideas off one another, I think. Value, so coming to the market center is something that I'm going to promote. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Even if it's just to come in and have a cup of coffee with somebody. We all need accountability partners, so to speak. We all get the rut. If you've never gotten in the rut, God bless you, because you're very unique. But it doesn't matter how long you've been in this business or in any business, you get in the rut. And you've got to go back to basics and start from scratch again. But my background is team leadership. You lead from the front, but you're the last one to lead. You'll go in my office, which was the former gym. Workout room is what it smells like, so that struggle and strive. It's also really hot in there, so if you come by my office and I'm sweating, it's because I've been working out. There's no doubt. But that's my passion, watching others succeed. I get a lot of thrill out of that. You know, I'm still out there selling real estate just like you. But at the same time, I love to help people get to that next level. And, you know, this is the environment to do that. At the same time, you know, I don't see many organizations anymore, because I come from that learning and development background, that invest in career development, personal development. It's just not, it just doesn't exist. 10 years ago, yeah, all companies invested in it, then they realized, yeah, that just costs too much money. We're cutting that. One of the pleasures of being that leader and being that person, I've always called myself a sales admin, because it's my job to get things out of the way. So professional salespeople will go out there and do their best. And I believe that today. But with that comes the hard part. And that is the no BS. So you'll see in my office, my bull. It's because it is the no bullshit zone. Now, you cannot bullshit. You cannot. And I have many awards for that. If you just want to come hang out and just BS, that's fine. But don't come in and with your stinky monkey and say, here, go fix this. It's not my stinky monkey, it's your stinky monkey. And I'm gonna tell you that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up a chair beside you and I'm gonna say, let's figure it out together. So I don't say no very often. You can ask my son and daughter that. But what I will do is I will help hold you accountable if that's what you want. If that's not what you want, I'm not gonna waste my time with your time doing it. That's it. So,
This is Bart Daly.
I mean, time constraints.
I don't have time constraints. You have time constraints. That's my line for today. Totally fine. So Bart is, he has how many years of tech?
I mean, 30 years.
30 years background in technology development, training with technology. He is not your tech support. You guys have Monday through Friday, 9 to 6 tech support with Scott Leroy. We all know that, right? You just email support@scottleroy.com. But Bart is going to be helping with business development through technology. That's a piece of his consulting understanding. I'll just say this. When he got his license and came into the industry, he researched all of the best CRMs in the industry and picked his brokerage based on what their technology could do. Interesting, right? So he's going to be able to help you guys understand how your technology can work for you and help you get some things into place that way as well.
AI is your best friend.
Yeah.
Don't run.
So lots of good things coming, but welcome, Bart.
Bye.
We're on day 2. He's still
Yeah,
here.
I'm
We're
still
doing
here.
great. You guys, support him and get some time with him when you have time and he's available. He wants to get to know all of y'all and your goals, for sure. Okay, let's do a couple of bucket fills. Who has a bucket fill? So you can celebrate a win for yourself. You can share gratitude or you can fill somebody else's bucket.
I'll do mine. My office looks decent. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Oksana's in her office and it just doesn't look like a bomb went off.
Not anymore.
It's great.
And it smells great. It always smells
It
fantastic.
smells great. Yeah, it's a productivity specific environment. I love it. Yes, Donna.
I'm gonna kind of say, she is so willing to help. Have a new listing and she's like, oh, no. And she just is a joy to be around. I just love her.
Yeah. Also in here in mornings at like 7, prospecting.
Was a little hurt this
Sorry,
morning by
a little crazy this morning because I was the last one in the office.
She doesn't like to go out.
So I like being the
You're
last one.
afraid.
If it's 7:45 and you're the last one on your team in the office, something has shifted dramatically overnight. So I'm like, wow, and I've set that alarm back a little bit. Okay, anybody else wanna tell back in?
I do, I wanna thank Beth for all of her help, she's really been knocking it out of the park for us, coming to productivity coach, but she's also giving the one-on-one time that I need to help me answer some questions and learn some things, so thank you for that.
Thank you. I'll say, hey, going back to that, because she just said and listened to me cry last week. And I just needed to vent and she sat there and listened to me. It's fine.
Sometimes that is good for that too.
Coaching is just listening.
Yeah, she's good for that. Listening and then being like, let's get after it. Yeah, okay, last call. Anybody else have a bucket fill? We have a lot of good information to go over today. I think it's good information. We'll see if you guys think it is. Okay, today we're gonna also share career nights. We did this last week, but our career night is happening this evening at 6 o'clock. And so, if you will scan the QR code, share the actual event on your social page, you'll be entered to win. We have a $25 Amazon gift card. So we give those away. We will draw probably around the end of the day today. So just scan the QR code, share it on your social page. Who won that last week? I don't remember either. Madison probably knows. And they're not here evidently, or they would say, I got the gift card. Okay. All right. Okay, we are gonna dive in. Today's topic, you guys, we're gonna talk about listings, and we're gonna talk about how to compound. You guys, you've heard me say this, I'm sure, because I've been tooting this horn for a month. But we're gonna talk about how to compound your listing opportunities into multiple pieces of business. And guys, that is the MREA model. Like everything we do, we should be thinking, how do I capture leads doing this activity? So I want you to think about all the things you're doing in your business every day. And it's everything you're doing, posting, talking about, creating. How are you capturing leads through that activity? Because that's how top producers think, okay? I want to just notate here, internet leads convert at 1 to 2%. It's not and you're saying I'm neutral on this. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. If you want to go buy 100 internet leads and expect 1 or 2 of those to convert, that is the conversion numbers, right? Sign call leads convert at 75%. Which means if I put a sign call in a yard, if I put a sign in a yard and I get a call on that sign, 3 out of 4 are going to do business with you. I'm also neutral on that. It's your choice how you build your business. Just strategically know that lead generating for listings is the best practice model. Because I can take a listing, I can market the listing, I can do all this advertising, I can do open houses, I can send it out to my neighbors, all the things, and I can generate additional business from it. And the conversion rates are higher. Because you actually have what? What are we selling when we have a listing? We have a product. There's an actual thing I'm selling that people are calling me about. It's a little different than like, here's my brand, you should call me and talk about buying or selling. Like when you have a product or inventory, people will call, okay? So we're gonna start, this, by the way, I had to get my signs redone and my signs were not compliant. This is my new yard sign. I'm not telling you have to go use this sign, but what do you guys see on this sign? The barcode. My picture's on it, yeah. But my
Oh,
QR
that's on
code,
the logo,
huh?
the logo.
Logo is on it. The QR code, my QR code, and again, you can do whatever you want, but in my brain, I go, how does this sign in this yard generate leads for me? Well, that's probably gonna happen a couple different ways, but for me, I wanted to have a QR code. That QR code, if you scan it, it's gonna download a mobile app. A mobile app. You could do anything on a QR code, just in my brain, if they're sitting in their car and they're on their cell phone scanning it, the app made the most sense to me. So, I'm not saying you have to do that, I'm just saying that is a way to think strategically about generating business, because remember, if they scan your app QR code and download it, what happens? They have to log in. They have to log in, and then what happens? You get a lead. The minute they download their app and log in, your cell phone pops up that you generated a lead. So I probably would want this in every yard because I could sit and generate leads from that. How much do those leads cost, by the way? Nothing. $3, $3.99. Yep, okay. Not saying you have to do it, just something to think about. We're gonna think differently, a little bit differently today. Okay, so I want you guys to turn in your packet to this listings needed form. This is gonna be technical, so I need you to really focus with me. Focus with me. You will need a pen and you're gonna need your calculator. Or your cell phone. This is a tool we use in coaching. And I wanna make sure you notate this. Listings needed. Listings needed. There is a number of listings that you need to have, active listings in your inventory at all times in order to hit your transaction goal this year. Did you guys know that? How many of you guys knew that? Ish, okay. You can, so there's a couple ways you can run our business. We can just go out and we can build our business in funnels. I can get a transaction, I can sell it and go, woohoo, I sold a house. And then I can scramble around and go, where's my next sale gonna be? And then you find one and you sell it and you go, yeah, I sold a house. And then the next day you start over again, you go, what am I gonna sell? And you go look for one-off deals, right? The goal of today is to understand that when you have listing inventory, it should be compounding. And the listings themselves will generate enough leads to help you hit your transaction goal. And then when we're doing it that way, we're not working in silos. We're building momentum. And it actually never has to die down as long as you keep kind of like stoking the fire. Make sense? So we're gonna do this math. Listings needed form. So I want you to start, I'm gonna say, letter number A. It might be a letter or a number, just depending. So we're gonna start with A on your sheet. And I want you to write down your goal for number of transactions closed this year. So how many transactions will you close this year? Everybody got your number? This is full participation. All of you. Who needs a pen? And a calculator. I'm gonna walk around, look over your shoulder. Let me ask you this out. 20. Tony has some safe. Thank you. All right, so then the next line is the fallout percentage. They're asking us to calculate a 10% fallout. So you're gonna put on line number B. You're gonna multiply your closed transaction goal by 10%. And that goes on line number B. So best goal was 20, 10% of that is 2. So line number C is A plus B. 22 is her number C. Okay? Everybody tracking? If you get lost, raise your hand. Next one is what percentage of your closings will be listings? The best practice model is 60%. Most agents in their first 5 years are 50-50 or even lower. But I would recommend calculating it at 60%, so you can actually target your business to best practice model. Okay, so you're gonna put your number, what percentage of your closings will be listings on D? And then you're gonna multiply C times that percentage, so it should get smaller. So that's gonna multiply 22 times
60,
60%.
it's 13.2.
And so 13.2 of her closings are gonna come from listings. Okay? And that's line E. Now, what percentage of your listings sell? What percentage of your listings sell? I did this math the other day and I think I did 90%. So it's pretty high right now. There are some listings expiring, so we are starting to see that. But you guys pick your number, I would say it's somewhere between 75 and 90%. So that needs to go on line F, what percentage of your listings sell? And then you're just gonna, divide line E. So the total number of closed listings, divide it by that percentage. Did I lose you?
Oh, good thought.
You been gone? You've been gone since we started.
We'll just start doing numbers for that. I'm getting bound to check out.
You might get lucky and somebody may have your same number, so just wait. Is everybody with me on line? Where are you at?
Like here, I don't know what's doing this one.
What's the number of percentages
C under D.
for listing sale?
What percentage of closings will be listings?
What do we have to say about sales?
Like 19% of your closings.
Yeah.
I just.
Oh, that's your, that goes here, on E, but 19.8.
Oh.
Now, okay, that's what percentage of your listings sell, probably 90%. Okay. They want you to put the percentage signs in there, so you're just gonna. Okay. All right, everybody at number D now? We have your number? What percentage of your listings sell? And you're gonna divide E by F, and that is line G. Beth, what's your number for G?
Hold on. I'm doing it right.
Okay,
Cause I'm at 10.56 and I don't think that's right.
what was your number of listings?
Number of listing, let's see, the total percentage, I was 13.2. And the percent of listings that sell is 80%.
Okay, so you're gonna divide 13.2, divide it by 80 and the percent sign, and that should be G. It should have, I think it's higher.
16.5.
Yeah, so that number G should be higher than G.
Sorry.
It should have gone up, so you're gonna take E, so divide by G, percent sign equals, and it's a higher number because we're assuming that not every one of those is gonna sell.
Right.
So we have fallout in there. What are the average days on market? Average days on market is about 56 right now.
I'll say fast.
But what it is? Yeah, it's about 56 in central Kentucky. So that is gonna go on line H, you just write 56. Divide 365 by 56. And that is the turnover rate in our marketplace, that's I. What's that number? That's the same for everybody.
6.52.
Yeah, 6.52 goes on line I. And then you're gonna take your line G and you're gonna divide it by 6.52. And that is J. What'd you get, Oksana?
2.73.
Okay. You need to have 3 active listings in your inventory at all times to hit your closed transaction goal.
Lower numbers.
Which means if you have 3 today and 1 sells, what's my job tomorrow?
Another one.
Go find another listing. If you don't have those listings, you will not generate the actual lead you need to get to 30 transactions. This model, by the way, only works if we're using our listings as fuel to generate leads. You can absolutely choose not to do that, but you're just doing it the hard way. Does that make sense? Like if we don't, I'm gonna give you an example of this. And I love you all when you say this, just from the bottom of my heart. I love you when you say this, but I also cringe a little bit. I'll bump into an agent and they'll go, oh my gosh, I just took a listing. I'm like, awesome. And they're like, it is sold in 3 hours. And I'm like, great.
No,
And also in the back of my mind, I go, did we generate 4 more pieces of business on that before it sold? Because it's really cool that it sold in 3 hours. You got a paycheck. Did you get 5? Because that should have created 5 paychecks for you. That makes sense? I know I'm kind of like hammering that, but that's how it works. So does everybody have your number of listings you need to hit your sales goals this year? You guys know yours?
Can you repeat
Yes, the total on J.
J is G,
G divided by I.
G divided by 6.52.
Isn't that full?
And your number is 3.
Three.
Okay, there you go.
There you go. Okay, so how many of you guys have a round of 3? Okay, how many of you guys have 3 active pieces of business in your inventory? So if I told you that you're not gonna hit your units this year until you get 3 in your inventory, how tenaciously would you go try to get 3 listings? That would be in my mind like what we would call a league measure. I have to go get 3 listings in order to hit my annual goal this year. And how fast can I do it? That makes sense? Like, this is what I'm gonna say. Dog on a bone. You are a dog on a bone. You cannot be stopped until you get that number. Every day you wake up, you think, where am I gonna go get a listing this year? Because I've got $300,000 of income on the line if I don't go get 3 listings. That makes sense. That's how important your listing inventory is. What's your observation on this tool?
So it's a reality check.
Is a reality check? Anybody have a reality check? I do. Is it helpful?
Yes.
Or is it not helpful? But it says it's helpful.
It's very helpful.
It's helpful? Yeah.
It helps us measure,
What to focus on?
it's about building a pipeline. You can talk about building a pipeline all you want. Unless you know what number you need to put in the pipeline.
Right.
We need 3 to go at the top of the phone.
Right.
That's what we need to come at the bottom of the phone. We don't know what needs to go at the top.
Anybody ever heard somebody say we list to last? Anybody ever heard somebody say leads, listings, leverage? There's probably like 10 of these. Listings are the heartbeat of your business. Right? Yeah, you guys know that Zillow is taking your listing leads and selling them to agents in the marketplace. We all know that. They've built an entire platform off of marketing your listings for you. Because we as agents don't do it well. We've kind of lost our clients or consumers. An entire platform was built on how somebody else is advertising your listings and generating leads from that. Here's a fun stat on Zillow, if you want to write this down. Zillow sold 100 million leads last year, 100 million leads, and 4 million properties actually closed in 2025. So not only are they taking your leads and selling them, they're selling them 25 times over and making a killing. Okay?
How many did you say they actually sold?
4 million. 4 million homes sold in 2025 and Zillow sold 100 million leads. So you can definitely get in that fray if you want to, or you can just get real strategic about how to advertise your own listings. And generate the 3 or 4 listing leads you need from each one of those to hit your goals. Make sense? So my goal today was to get you that number. So now you're a what? You're a dog on a bone. You're a dog on a bone, not to be stopped. Yes. So this number is, I would just round that up to 2. So you need to have 2 listings at all times to hit your close goal with that. Okay?
Right.
So I'm gonna give you guys like 3 minutes to fill this in. So flip to your next sheet and then we're gonna talk through some strategies. The next sheet is your listing lead generation. So we're gonna think about this differently. This is a bold strip. Most agents do the 3 P's of real estate. What are they?
Prospect. Just guess.
Yes, that's the 4th P. They put it on the MLS, they put a sign in the yard, and they pray it sells. They pray it sells, right? And that has actually worked for agents for the last 5 years. You could put a sign in the yard, put it on the MLS, and pray that another agent sells it. What we do is we do the 4th P, which is we prospect daily for buyers to purchase a home. We also are gonna leave this room today prospecting on our listing to generate more listings. Okay? All right, so I want you guys to look at this sheet. I'm gonna give you literally like 3 minutes. And I want you to write down your pre-listing activities. What do you do before a house goes live on the market? What do you do once a house is actively listed? And what do you do when a house goes under contract or sells? And this, just go fast. What is your process? Pre-listing, just listed, under contract. Okay? Ready, set, go. Got 120 seconds. We got about a minute left. Keep writing tenaciously. We're a dog on a bone today. We're back in school. We're taking tests. Yeah, like quizzes.
I'm much relieved down from my listing. I gotta be honest.
It's okay.
I do a lot for my
We're
clients.
gonna do a whole list. We're gonna have a whole list.
I'm gonna reinvent this. I lost so much opportunity.
Well,
You're making me feel sad.
sorry for feeling sad.
Oh.
She said I'm never coming to.
It's this one of those bittersweet moments where I get to
Oh my
eat out
God.
for an hour.
Oh, you're
and then
listening
you
to
left
me.
here.
Meetings will continue until
Morale.
morale improves.
There you go.
That is hard to tell, you mean before a contract or you mean after?
Yeah.
Everything's closed.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, just like, in my mind, it's probably starts it under contract, you may do some things after they close, but like the property is now pending, what happens after that? Everybody got your list? Okay. Now, I want you to go down your list and I want you to put a star by everything you do that generates leads. Yes,
First thing I do is I call my admin and get everything set up.
that's great.
Then I contact the photographers and I have 4 or 5 photographers I use, and I think all of them work with the different. Some of them are more linear, some of them are more spatial.
Yeah.
And then. Actually, that's most of what I do for pre-listing, I go in, just talk to sellers. And then I'll make my other.
Okay. So Mike gave us 3 or 4 steps pre-listing. Has everybody gone through now and put a star next to the specific activities you're doing that's generating more business? So who wants to share a couple things you do, either in pre-listing, just list, or just sold, that generates more business for you? Yes.
When I take a listing, I generally go to like the area or the neighborhood, shoot a video and say. I don't get specific because we can't, because it's for coming soon
Yeah.
purposes, right? But just say, hey, if you're interested in buying in this area, I have a listing that's coming up. Let me know, I wanna get you in there, I would want my friends and family and my followers to be the first people that get to view this property, because it's gonna go quickly, and I wanna make sure that you guys get the opportunity to see that. And then when it goes on to the market, I do another video, put on social media that says, hey, here's that listing I was talking about, and here's pictures of my customers. Viewing it first, right, so I typically shoot that when I do those individual showings for my customers, and then when it sells, I call the people in my database individually and let them know, hey. That property that you were interested in that I shot those videos about, just so you know, it did sell in this area, here was the days on market, here's what we actually closed at.
Okay. Okay. Couple of examples there. I'm gonna show you guys, we're gonna go through some more. Before I go through I'm gonna give you a tip out of MREA actually, but before I do that, I'm gonna pause here and say. If you do not have an actual listing presentation that has your value proposition created, right now we need to pause and we need to take the time to build that and start practicing it. You don't wanna build a listing presentation on the first appointment you go on, and you definitely don't wanna be practicing it on the client. You're putting a lot of money at risk when you walk in and you're presenting your value proposition for the first time, okay? Listing presentation, this one on the screen, I grabbed out of Canva last week. I modified it and I put the template for it in the Facebook group. And by the way, you're welcome to critique it. I just live by a motto that is done is better than perfect. And so it's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's something that communicates my value proposition. Next to this, by the way, this graph needs to be in every single one of your listing presentations. I wanna make sure you write this down, asterisk it, and are crystal clear. There is no other brand in Central Kentucky that sells more homes than Keller Williams Realty. No other brand. So when you go into a buyer consultation or a seller consultation, telling that to the consumer is really important. So they understand that they're choosing to do business with the #1 company and brand in the market. Does that make sense? So this is in my presentation, you'll see it. You guys can do whatever you want. I gave you the template, so you can literally put your base name on it and use it if you want. If you don't like it, tear it apart and do something different. But you've got to build one and have one ready that you can go out on an appointment at any time. We're gonna go through this and I'm gonna read these and I want you to look at your sheet of paper And think about where in the process you could use some of these strategies to get leads, okay? This comes from the 14-step seller marketing strategy. That's part of the MREA, right? So, 14-step seller marketing strategy. So number one, part of your value proposition is you do strategic pricing. You analyze the market to price the home competitively, ensuring it attracts buyers immediately. Straight out of the MREA. Number two is professional or agent staging consultation. Stage the home to highlight key features, declutter, and boost curb appeal. I don't think I've ever hired a stager, not saying I wouldn't. However, I've gotten really good over time, or I've gotten decent over time where I can walk through somebody's home and have an idea of what a home needs to look like to be show ready and photography ready. Okay? The next one is you're going to create a custom listing landing page. This is a website page for every one of your sellers. And if you guys don't know how to do this, it's super easy to do. Scott Leroy, I believe, will make these for you. So this is what it looks like. It's got the property, all the photos, where the property is located, and it's got a lead capture page that has the TCPA compliant notification. Okay. So that is your listing landing page. Your listing landing page you're going to use to capture leads so that you can asterisk this one. This is a lead capture mechanism. You can also use it to run ads on social media, and you can tell your seller, we're actually going to build a custom website for your property. This website landing page is on your personal website. So if they go there, they can also shop around at other things, and you're capturing leads through this. Okay. Next one is for sale sign and flyers. Install a branded yard sign with a tube or box containing flyers for drive-by prospects. I just ordered flyer boxes, and I put the link for these on in our Facebook page. It's also on your next sheet.
Can I add something? The post sign company will install those for you too.
Perfect.
I'm actually getting ready to order so I can start using them.
Yeah, so you can just print your flyers and stick them in the mail to the seller. And they send them 100 flyers, and the boxes hold 100 flyers and like 100 business cards. And what I would recommend on your flyer is having a QR code that goes to your website. Because we want them to register so we can capture the leads, okay? Next one is local and regional print advertising. Beth talked about this. Print flyers and go out and door knock 50 or 100 homes around the property. Maybe 50, because we're gonna do postcard mailers as well, right? Number 6 is just listed neighborhood campaign. You can do a command postcard mailer. They're 82 cents a postcard. That's created, printed, and shipped. And they will be like at their home in 4 days. So we should be promoting that listing to the neighborhood. Why am I doing that?
So they know the kind of service you provide.
So the neighbors will contact the seller.
They may be interested in selling themselves.
So I'm gonna hit them the day I list that, and the day it goes pending, they're gonna get another one. So they know that I listed it and I sold it in that timeline, right? Number 7 is MLS optimization, guys. We have a global MLS. I don't know of any other real estate brand that does. So your property goes in the MLS and it syndicates globally. So that's a value add to your seller. Virtual tours, web listings. I use Nextdoor Photos. They do the floor plans on every property. They do the three-dimensional. They do reels, twilight photos, and they've got a massive amount of things you can do. But I would recommend either a virtual tour, a video, or some sort of walkthrough. I can't remember what that's called. What is that where it turns, the house turns? Matterport. They do Matterport, and they do floor plans. Number 9 is, what is your open house schedule? So your open house should generate 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 buyers based on how you're marketing the open house and using the 7th level open house strategy. So don't just do an open house to do one. let's go do an open house thinking, I gotta get 2 buyers from this property before this thing sells. Right? Number 10, direct email, voice broadcast. This would be using like a slide broadcast, Bojo Vulcan, Land Voice, or a circle prospecting tool. Probably will have to purchase a dialer to do that, because they screen those through TCPA. If you're gonna circle prospect, otherwise go door knock. And then showing feedback collection, gathering all of the feedbacks and presenting those to your seller. We did that once a week, usually on Wednesdays. We would go through how many showings, the showing report, and that would go out to the sellers. Number 12 is targeted digital marketing. That's your command ads. I walked you guys through command ads, right? A couple weeks ago. Spend a couple bucks a day to target the neighborhood and potentially target your database of buyers, so they know that you list properties in the area. You're going to do weekly seller updates, Mondays or Wednesdays, like I shared. You're gonna give them all the feedback and you're gonna talk about the next upcoming open house opportunity. Should talk to every single seller every week. Every seller every week. And guys, every time you talk to your sellers, what should we probably be asking them for? A referral. Like every time you engage them, here's what I'm working on, here's what I'm gonna do next. And oh, by the way, who do you know that might be buying or selling right now? So that's a whole other arm of getting business. And then, if it hasn't sold, so these kind of happen in order, right? So down at 14, we have agent caravans, office tours, or broker opens. And then 15 is just your strategic adjustments, reviewing feedback and modifying the listing as needed. So how many different ways can we capture leads? Yard sign, I don't even have, the next slide has like 4 things on what they do under contract, I'll show you. Under contract, get your pending writers up. Please, 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 get your pending writers up. We use pending writers to notify the neighborhood that you've sold that house quickly. You wanna get access, so you've got a postcard on just listed. Pending writer at under contract, postcard at under contract or just sold, and then I'm hitting the neighborhood with social ads. Do they know who I am? Do they see me making an effort to sell homes? Yeah, you're gonna generate more listing inventory that way. And then under contract, you're gonna hit the neighborhood again with a postcard. On this one, I would recommend using your property valuation tool. You guys can very quickly set up a CMA page on your website. They can click, put in any address, and it tells them about what that property is worth. That's also a lead capture function. And then you're just sold, so you're gonna hit them in your CRM. And then you're gonna do a social post also with the property valuation. So how many different ways did I just show you we could generate leads off one listing? Many. And I didn't say that we couldn't do all of those if it sold in 3 hours, did I? I can still do that whole process if it sells in 3 days, 3 weeks, or 3 hours. It's just that your process should be built based on you maximizing the listings to generate more pieces of business. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense. What's your observation, or what are we gonna start implementing from this?
Most of what I can. Get that list and on my next listing, I wanna make sure I.
I want to do all those things.
Yes.
Yeah. Do we have opportunity to generate more business from the business we're working? This page is all the extras. So I have on here how to run a CAN ad, how to do a postcard, the listing presentation template, flyer boxes on Amazon, how to do a landing page for your custom website, and how to do your property valuation page. This is worth the cost of admission today. Right? You have all the tools to watch these little 5-minute videos and practice this. You guys feeling overwhelmed or excited?
I have a question.
Yeah.
And maybe a simple answer, but. Where are you getting addresses for these
Postcards?
Postcards for the neighborhoods.
It's in your CRM.
So you're gonna literally put.
I'm talking about the neighborhood, you have something for sale, you're sending postcards to those people in that neighborhood, where are you getting those names and?
It's in command. So when you go in to do a campaign, you're gonna click direct mail. You're gonna pick your listing, it's gonna auto create a postcard. And then you're gonna say, I want it to go anywhere between 1 and 5,000 cards. It literally hits the neighborhood, it maps it. And it goes to all of the people around it, it's already addressed.
Or you can
postmarked.
filter to specific houses as well, whether it be people who sold however many years ago, certain price points, certain bedroom, bathroom makeup.
Okay, yeah, that,
Just.
I was thinking, how about we all these addresses?
Where, you know, where I'm newer to it, I just did this yesterday for John. So we went to, you put in the address. So it's just you just go through and fill everything in. So you put in the address, then you tell the criteria it will ask you, and you can range in that neighborhood. And it'll show you the homes on a map. And it chooses the addresses, not from your contacts or anything, it actually chooses the addresses.
Okay, good, thank you, that's awesome.
Yeah, Keller has contracted with a company called Real Mailers. So you have, I mean, it's an actual postcard mailing company and you have all the data.
That's great, that's great.
You can do those, by the way, for open houses, like if you get far enough, if you know you're gonna do it, if somebody's listing a house out. You can do this for lots of different things, you can send postcards to your database, neighborhoods, anything.
You see the name sheets from PDA reports on.
You can do that, it's just gonna be a lot of manual work, you can still go to PVA.
It was handy to just know the name of the person that you're walking up to the door to and get them door knock.
Yeah, for sure, that's a good idea to print the PVA information. The postcard mailers say current resident, I believe, at this address. So, yeah. So did you guys get some specific things we can start working on to generate more leads? Yeah? Okay, good. Real quick, cause I know we're a little bit over, KW Cares campaign is still going, we are still at the top. Yet there is time to give, so if you haven't made a donation, we would love a donation to KW Cares. Also, we are doing, Red Day just happened. So how many of you guys attended your first ever Red Day with us? What did you guys take away from Red Day?
Awesome opportunity.
Great day. Yeah. Good day? Great day? Yeah, great day. Is culture committee meeting tomorrow? Culture
Yes,
committee
well,
is meeting tomorrow at 12. So if Red Day sparks something in you and you wanna be a part of just ongoing community service, giving and culture. Our culture committee is meeting at 12 tomorrow and our next, I'm gonna go here. We do have we have an immediate need in our family here. Rosemary DeCenzo, her husband Scotty is starting chemotherapy this week. He's actually getting his port in today.
Or this chemotherapy.
Chemotherapy. This is like his third or fourth time. Okay, so she called me and said, I am gonna lean on my Kel Roots community this time. And so we've set up a meal train. They've asked for 2 meals a week.
Tuesdays and Fridays.
Tuesdays and Fridays, and that will go just for 2 people. But the main thing she asks is if you bring a meal and you have time, hang out for a little bit, especially if you know Scotty. Just the company for both of them would be great, and this is a great opportunity. I think we need about 40 meals.
Yeah, until the end of September.
Till the end of September. He'll be in pretty rigorous chemo, so. Please consider the meal train and we would appreciate any help you can give us with that. We'll get this out in some different ways too. And maybe just shoot Rosemary a text today and say like, I'm thinking about you. What happened? Her husband is having chemotherapy. Oh no. Yeah, so we're doing a meal train starting now. And Beth, do you wanna talk about the Amazing Race?
Yeah, so those of you that are in productivity coaching, you've probably heard me talk about this, but those of you that aren't, this is open to anyone who wants to join us, but it is being hosted by the Productivity Coaching Program. So if you've ever watched the TV show The Amazing Race, we are hosting our own Amazing Race here next Thursday, not this upcoming Thursday, the following one. And we are gonna be doing challenges all over the city of Lexington. And we're gonna get out into the community, we're gonna generate leads, we're gonna generate business. And we are gonna make sure that the community knows who we are. We're gonna have a little fun doing it too. We've got lots of prizes you can win. It's gonna be a really great experience for everyone involved. If you are even remotely curious, I would say come on out and, participate how and when you can. And I think that you're gonna find that we have a heck of a lot of fun doing it. So I'm excited.
Lots of prizes
Yeah.
already, more things coming, so, yeah, next Thursday. Okay, you guys, hang tight, we've got a bunch of things, these are like save the dates. June 17th, we have our quarterly top 20% event happening in Cincinnati. This is a Reds game, so if you're in our top 20%, this is open to you. And the deadline to RSVP is June 5th. So we need you to RSVP if you're coming. But first pitch is at 12 o'clock that day, and then if you're on the ALC, we're actually planning to meet at 8:30 to do a little mastermind session before this, so. And then this is our every summer event. Bo and I host everybody at our house, which is literally right up the street. We're doing a summer potluck this year. It's gonna be on July 18th, a Saturday. You guys are welcome to come. Bring your plus one or bring a guest. But we're gonna do all the grilling and you're gonna bring your favorite side. And then next week at this meeting, Peter Chabris, Peter's gonna share his journey of how he started in real estate until they're still selling, but last year they sold 618 homes. Who's gonna talk about discipline, who he needed to become to lead that organization, and just his journey to that number. So do not miss next week's sales meeting. He's a lot of fun and you guys are gonna learn a lot from Peter. This is actually happening this Thursday. So Kyle Harrison is gonna teach a class on mastering your money and how to track your expenses. And he's also a MAPS coach. He's also our partner with your bookkeeping partner, which is a vendor. They do bookkeeping for agents. And then this is happening now. We're a little bit late, but we have a time blocking class. I'll probably start in about 5 minutes, but if you guys, I know, don't you love when I'm late for my own time blocking? So I'm gonna teach you guys how to really hone in on how many appointments you need to have weekly and then what your schedule should look like to support that appointment goal, okay? All right, how do we feel? Oksana's ready to go get free listings in her active inventory. You guys I have my needs. We're gonna take like a quick 3 to 5 minute break. And then be back here in about 5 minutes for time blocking. We'll hit our 3 minutes or so. And get you guys signed in. Thanks for coming.
Don't forget that they have t-shirts out there. Oh, for Pink Rose t-shirt.
We post t-shirts.
He's really excited to give everybody your t-shirt.
That one birthday.
Okay, do you need anything from me?
No, we'll bring it up that.
Do you want to Zoom?